Hi, it's Stacy from Bluebird Paper and Thread. Thank you for joining me today. My channel is about paper crafting, card making, and Flosstube, cross stitch, maybe a little sewing and quilting. Right now all I'm doing is the Flosstube. I'm still trying to get my setup for card making. But anyways, thank you for coming. Today we're going to go over, I have three finishes, well, three patterns that are complete FFOs, fully finished objects, and I did quite a bit of work on my WIPs. No new starts, and I have a little bit of a haul. We will go ahead and get into that. This week was quite busy for me, unusually busy, a little stressful, so I got a lot more done than I thought I would, and I'm kind of happy about it. Let's just jump right in. We're going to start with WIPs. The first one that I worked that I'm going to show you today is the Wee Santa 2022. I started this right before Christmas, and I obviously didn't get it done. I am stitching this on 40 count vintage country mocha with the called for floss. The called for DMC and I think Classic Colorworks flosses. I didn't want to order completely for this, but anyways, this is my progress. What I did and picked up on was I did his mittens and the birds and the start. There's a little tree that is going to be under here. I finished the packages and I did Jolly, and that's all that I think I worked on with this one. I would like to have this a fully finished piece here in the next month or so. So I moved him along a little bit. These are the called for flosses. You can kind of see. So they're quite pretty, very soft. I love this color here. The pinks are really pretty. Rose petal, rosy glow, and seashelly are these lighter pinks. And then I have them, you know, brown in there too. Wagon wheel. Just very soft, kind of shabby chic, it reminds me of. So I worked on that a little bit. I was putting together my stuff for the video and kind of going through everything, and I realized, you know, for being as stressful of a week as it was, I really got a lot done. I didn't get a lot of stitching done in the mornings this week, but I did do a little bit. And so this is my progress on the October cottage from Country Cottage Needleworks. Nope, that's November, sorry. Where is October? Oh. Sorry guys, if you hear a little commotion going on in the background, I have one of my cats out here with me, and I just put up shelves, and she's exploring the shelving unit, so you might hear some noise. Hopefully she won't knock anything off. Isn't that wonderful? I'm missing... Oh. Nope, that's May. Oh, that's lovely. I'm missing the thing. Nope, here it is. Sorry. It's just kind of how my week went, right? So why not the Flosstube video as well? So this is October. I like the oranges. And I finished the body of the house, not the windows or the doors or the roof, but I worked on the body of the house. I was a little concerned that this color wasn't going to show up on the fabric, but I think it's okay. And I think when I get the windows in, that we'll find it. Oh, here's Chloe. This is Chloe. She must think I'm talking to her. Come on, come on. So I worked on that a little bit. I think I'm going to keep this one as my morning stitch, this whole series. I'm not sure if you've seen the other videos. I've talked about how I have a pattern for each, one for each month, and that I'm kind of just working in them in a random order. And I think they're just going to be my morning stitch until they're all done. So it's going to take me a while. Hopefully she's not being too noisy. The next one that I worked on this week was Summer Delivery. I do believe I'm using, yes, I'm using the called for threads, but I think I changed the fabric. The fabric is flax linen. So I'll show you my progress on this. This one is really close to being done. I'd like to pull this one out a little bit more and work on it. The horse is stitched in grits by Weeks Dye Works. It's not really showing up on the fabric too terribly well. It's looking a little bit better now that there's more of it, but it's not as bright as I was hoping. So I don't know if it's my fabric. When I did the floss toss on the fabric, all of the colors popped really nicely. But this is also one that I realized when I'm stitching 1 over 2, I really need to separate one strand from every skein of floss and make sure that it's going to show up good. I think this is too close for the flax linen, but I wanted to stitch from a linen in my stash, and so that's why I chose this one. But it's almost done, so I will keep plucking along on this one until we get it finished. It's been a while since I worked on this one. I love the colors. They're not quite a true red, white, and blue patriotic. It's just a little different, which I'm really liking. Then I pulled out Winter Garden by Hello from Liz Mathews. This was one of my New Year's Eve starts, and I started with the border. I did a little bit of the gold on the inside of that border, but I started on the border. She's getting into something over there. She's like a 2-year-old. Oh, yeah. So I've almost got the border completely done on this one. Oh, things are hard. Anyways, there we go. So I just have a little bit right here left to do. You can't see. Yeah, right here. I have a little bit left to do. There are 4 little stitches in between each of these triangles. It does add to the piece. I'm not real excited about stitching them because I feel like it's going to be an independent, almost like a confetti start, where I'm going to have to start each little cluster independently. And then the gold does go all the way around. I'm kind of thinking it's like the inside border of the frame. I am thinking that I will probably just finish the border completely before I start working on the fun stuff in the middle. So I got that out and I did a little bit of work on that. The fabric on that one is 28 count artichoke linen by Witchelt. Trying to use my stash. Next, I worked on Dreaming of Poppies by Rosewood Manor. It's designed by Karen Kluba. I apologize if I'm mispronouncing her name. Every time I take this piece out, I get so excited. It's turning out to be so pretty. I'm stitching this on 32 count Winter Moon linen by Zweigart. And this is how far I got. So I finished my first poppy and I started working on the greenery. I don't even think that the video is going to do this justice. It is so pretty. I think it's the reds, all the different shades of reds. Oh, I do have them on a ring. So here's the flosses for it. They're just so pretty, so bright, so springy. A lot of people, when they're doing their California native landscaping here in California, they have the poppies, and they come out and start popping up, and the poppies start popping in March, and they're so pretty. I love them. And then I pulled out one that I really kind of put in timeout for quite a while. And it's because where I started, you know, I like to start on the bottom half of the pattern in the lower, what would be my right hand corner. And there's a lot of fill-in work, and I kind of got bored, so I put it away for a little bit. And I wasn't quite sure where I was going to put this. It is the Butterfly Cloche from Hello from Liz Mathews. So I started at the bottom, and I'm filling in that banner. I am stitching it on 40 count Cafe au lait sand linen. And this is what I've got. So I worked on filling it in. I'm a little bit more than halfway done filling in the banner, and then I'll do the green on the side, and then I'll start working up the sides of the actual cloche, and then working the stuff in the middle. This one I wasn't quite sure where I was going to put it, and then I was in my bathroom the other day. I might have a little half bath, and I have a fairly decent sized blank wall that doesn't have anything in there. In my master, I don't have a regular master bath. I have a half bath. And so that's where I put my makeup on in the morning, and I get ready and I do my hair. So the sink is very, very close to the wall, and I've got to make sure that whatever I put on that wall doesn't stick out too far. So I really thought, oh, this piece in particular would look really, really nice up there. And if I did some pieces that were in the right sizing, if I planned that out carefully enough, I could probably have a little gallery wall with some really pretty frames in that bathroom, and I think that would make me happy to see every day. So that's my thought process on that. I'll come back to that one. And then I worked on Polar Pack. The red and white snowflake, the Fair Isle design on the bottom, I think that's what it's called, maybe. Really was giving me the business when I first started this. This was also a New Year's Eve start. I am stitching this on a unknown fabric. It's really quite pretty. I started pulling it out because I had messed up so much, and then I just abandoned it and I started all over again, and this is how far I got. And I'm much, much happier with it. I figured if I started out from the straight edge at the top of that red band and worked my way down, it might go a little bit better than starting from the bottom and having to really count around those snowflakes. So that's what I'm doing. And this fabric, it's a mottled like light green, teal. It's really, really pretty. So I'm excited for that. So I'm glad I got that back on track. And then the last one that I worked on. I am doing the chicken of the month from Fat Quarter Shop. And January is Cornelius. Cornelius. He's very, very cute. I have the little needle minder. I lost him. I found him today. The little needle minder goes with him. So I pre-cut my fabric. I often do not pre-cut my fabric because, again, Chloe, because I am afraid that I will not cut enough or I won't start it correctly. So this one I thought, no problem. I measured twice, cut once, pre-cut all of my squares. Started in the middle of the pattern, but the middle of the pattern is not this. The middle of the pattern is this plus his name, Cornelius. So when I got the blue done, I thought, uh-oh, he's kind of close to the top. Am I going to have enough for his comb? So I went all the way up and I stitched, and it is so incredibly close to the selvage. And I don't know where to go from it with this from here. I had to put it down. It's a really quick stitch. So if I decide to start it all over again, it's not going to be a problem. But I am going to not frame this. I'm going to make it put it on one of those sticky boards, and I'm thinking I might be able to fold it over, but I don't know. Now it's looking, well, if I put trim on the outside of it, not underneath it, but around the edging, that might work. So I don't know. If you have any thoughts, let me know. I am not opposed to starting all over again. But I got irritated more than anything. So I put it away. I'm not sure if I'm even going to work on it this week. I'm that irritated with it. I got the floss pack. So this is for the whole series. So all of these floss colors will work for the whole series. And I am stitching it on the 25 count Barley Even Weave by Lori Holt. I think on one of the videos this week, or the very, very end of last week with Fat Quarter Shop, she said that this count in this color is out of stock, but they're waiting for shipment. I don't know when that's coming in. So I'm going to have to keep an eye on it and pick up another pack when it comes in. That was it for my WIPs. So actually, for not feeling like I got a lot done, I feel like I touched a little bit of everything. Sometimes I stitched on 2 patterns in a night. Sometimes I did one in the morning and one in the evening. So that seems to be okay. All right, fully finished objects. This is what I did on my Martin Luther King Day. I fully finished Red, White, and Bloom by withthyneedle&thread. Sorry. And I made these into a pillow finish. And I've done a pillow finish years ago, but it's been a while since I've done them. And so it took me all afternoon. But I finished her. I just love those bees. These will go either in a tray or on a little, like in a dough bowl, or in a container, or on a tiered tray. and my Uncle Sam. This was the first time I worked with chenille as a trim. I don't think it went too bad for my first time. I had a little bit of struggles, which I'll show you here in a second. And then this little guy. Chloe, no. And then my red, white, and bloom. And my trouble came in over here. Can you see? It kind of, the chenille started coming apart. I struggled a little bit with this corner for whatever reason. I'm not going to do anything about it because it's at the bottom and it's going to be, oops, tucked behind something, or it's going to be not very visible. So I'm not going to worry about it. But I finished him. So that's fully finished number 1. And then I fully finished some more smalls. Love Notes by Brenda Gervais. I've seen quite a few people pull this out and start stitching it this year. Quick stitch. Really, really cute finish. And I did pillows again. I think one of these is supposed to have a little key on it, and oh, I see. Oh, I see what she did. She tied a little bow with some ribbon in the corner of a couple of these and hung a key down. I don't know. I have some keys, but I don't know that I'll do that. Love You a Latte. I think she's cute. XOXO. The backs of these are either little hearts or a pin dot. For red, white, and bloom, they were all the red pin dot. I don't think I showed this one yet. Now that this one's all done, you see the white hearts a little bit more, but again, this is one that I probably would have done a slightly larger count of fabric or a brighter white, so it would have popped up a little bit more, but it's still cute. And then I think this is my favorite one out of this collection. I think it's the shape. It's Be Mine. It's just, well, and it has birds. If you're new to my channel, I have a thing for birds. I'm not really sure why. My grandmother liked birds, so that's probably got something to do with it. It looks like it's upside down, but I guess it's not. So that's my favorite one for that set. I'm excited to take these back in the house and put them on my tray. And then I finished Oh Lucky Day by withthyneedle&thread. Maybe this is better. I tell you, you guys, this week just kind of kicked my butt a little bit. Next week should be better, I hope. These pillows are a little bit bigger. I stitched them, I think, on a little bit bigger count, or maybe they just are a bigger pattern. So I did him. He's so cute. This is the backing on this one. And I did, the first time I've done a rickrack trim. I had bought some baby ball fringe to trim these out with. I really wanted to do that, but as I started watching tutorials on them, I realized I bought the wrong kind, so I wound up placing an order with, I think, Lady Creates to get the kind where you can separate the little balls from the actual tape and hand sew them on like you do a chenille or the rickrack. Oh Lucky Day. Again with the rickrack. Shamrock fabric. The fabric I had in my stash, all of the fabric for the backings I had in my stash, and then top of the morning to you. Again, rickrack and the back. So those were my finishes. I am they make me smile. I love them. I did do a little shopping. I wanted to find, I thought I had bought the frame that was in the pattern for Counting is Hard. I've shown this one before. I think my first video. It is kind of an odd shape. It is narrower than it is wide. So it technically should be able to fit into like a 5x7. Well, actually with this count of linen, probably an 8x10. So I went and I bought an 8x10 frame, came home and I tried it. I didn't like it. There was too much space, but this is the frame that I bought. I got it at Joann's. I liked it because it was kind of a worn, weathered black finish. And it's got a really nice curved bevel and a curved corner at the top. So I will keep this for something else. And I think I'm going to do a different kind of finish for this one. I wanted to finish this one along with the pillows. It just didn't happen. Now for my haul. I know my focus is to not spend a lot of money this year, but I need more fabric choices. I have a lot of 40 count. I don't want to work everything on 40 count. Sometimes I want to do what the pattern calls for. And so that's what I am focusing on. So I did an order and I got a few cuts of fabric, a lot of gray. That's okay. This is a hand-dyed 36 count Edinburgh linen from Fiber on a Whim, and it's Night Sky. It is so pretty. It's kind of got a navy midnight blue tone to it, mottled maybe a hint of green. I don't think the green is really showing up, but a hint of green on it. Very, very pretty. So I got that. I got a really nice neutral. I've seen people stitch on this many times. Hand-dyed 40 count Newcastle linen, Milk and Honey by Fiber on a Whim. Just a really nice neutral, not quite as dark as Vintage Country Mocha, which I think that's what this is, right? I think this is Vintage Country Mocha. So a lighter neutral. The modeling is really, really nice on this. It just looks antiqued and worn. I think it's going to be a fun one to stitch on. Then I got hand-dyed 40 count Newcastle linen, Fiber on a Whim in Slate. A really pretty light gray. I bought this for the tiered tray stitches, I think by Madame Chantilly. I don't know if that's the right person or not. But I thought, oh, let's give this a try. So I'm really pleased with this one too. I like the modeling. It's just nice and soft, where I think any color palette would probably show up really nicely on that. And then hand-dyed 40 count Newcastle linen by Fiber on a Whim in Stone. So a really light gray, maybe a hint of a little bit of a blue, a bluish gray. Really, really pretty. A little darker on this side, but really nice. And then I was watching Nicole Spore, and she was stitching. She was stitching the Big Hearted Tiny Town. And, you know, obviously I have the pattern. And I was going to stitch it on Antique Ivory 32 count linen by Zweigart. A good choice. And then I had pulled out Raw with Gold Linen 32 count by Zweigart. This one has a little bit, I'll take this one out. It has a little bit of a gold thread running through it. And I thought, ooh, that could be fun. A little sparkle, a little darker, a little browner. And then I watched Nicole. And she is stitching on a powder pink 32 count powder pink splash 32 count Lugana. I have been eyeballing this fabric for quite a while, and the pictures on the website really don't do it justice. It's better when you see some stitching on it, but even in person it is so pretty. So I bought this, and this is what I'm going to stitch. She's stitching hers on this, and I'm going to do the same. It's fun. It's, I think it's really going to look nice. I'm having a hard time with the lighting. I hope you can see it okay. And then I needed some floss for that one. The Tiny Town, as well as that tiered tray one from, I think it's Madame Chantilly. I will find it and I will link it below. If I forget, please let me know. And I will do it again. I will, insert it somehow. Anyways, but these colors I picked up. They're really pretty together. You know what it reminds me of? I just need some vanilla ice cream, and it reminds me of like Neapolitan. So I just need like a vanilla color in here, and it's almost like Neapolitan ice cream. Ripe melon. Let me get my paper. Where did it go? Ripe melon. Onion skin. Really pretty taupey tan. Cherry tomato. Not like any of the cherry tomatoes I've seen. And then Weeks Dye Works Hibiscus. I also got DMC 22. Just so weird. I thought I had it, but nowhere can I find it. So I picked up another skein of that. I also got the Unstitcher by Lori Holt. I thought this was just a regular seam ripper. I couldn't quite understand what the big deal was, but I thought, okay, I'll get one for my bag. But really all it is it's a needle in a holder. Let me see if I can pull it out. So you don't bend your needles. So once you've cut the thread, you can use this to pull out your stitches, frog all of your stuff. So it's like a needle, but it's not going to bend if you are pulling out your stitches. Sometimes needles will kind of warp a little bit. So I was pleasantly surprised on that. I thought, okay. And then, Bluebird Paper and Crafts, so I had to buy the Bluebird needle minder. There he is. I've been eyeballing this for a really long time too. So that was my haul. I'm excited to start the Big Hearted Tiny Town. I think I'll start that this week because Valentine's Day is quickly approaching. And I'll continue to work on some different WIPs, maybe a couple of the same WIPs. We'll see. I started spray painting my tiered tray that I have here for inside my craft room. So hopefully that'll be done next week and I can show that to you. We'll see. And I think that's it. Now, I have to say thank you so much to everybody who has liked, followed, commented on my videos. I really appreciate it. The last few days have been really, really fun. My count of subscribers went from, I think we were at 30 something last week, and now we're almost to 60. So thank you so much. It was fun. And I did promised when we got to 50, we would do a giveaway. So I have an extra chart of flea market flowers, and I think I called this pattern something different in my first video, so I apologize. It's actually flea market flowers. It's a beautiful stitch. It's quick and easy to work up. I couldn't put it down. The called for fabric is 14 count Aida or 25 count Lugana. I stitched mine on 24 count Barley Lugana. 2 threads using 2 strands of DMC. And the stitch count is 153 over 169. So it's not super small, but it's beautiful. Oh, sorry about that. I saw something out of the corner of my eye. I look out the door and the dog is digging a brand new planter that was just planted maybe a couple months ago, digging up the soaker hose and getting ready to pull out my hydrangea plant. So I had to go take care of that. Anyways, this is an easy stitch. And this is what I would like to give away to one of the viewers. Please, in order to enter the drawing, please be 18 or over because I have to ask for an address. And please subscribe and like the video and make a comment. And in your comment, please put the word flower. Anyways, that's it for me today. Thank you so much for hanging in there. I know this seems like quite a bit of a discombobulated video, but that's how I feel today, a little discombobulated. That's how my week has been. Next week will be better, I'm sure. Anyways, have fun stitching. Thank you so much. Don't forget to like, subscribe, tell your friends, and we'll see you next time. Thanks. Bye.